Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godwin and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
On the return, this is Jaquiz Rodgers. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led by their veteran quarterback. He's been in the league for a while, since 2005, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And I saw they had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
A first carry now for the rookie from SC. It's Ronald Jones. No gain on the play there. Second down. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
Fitzpatrick now on second down. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. In on the stop, Vernon Hargraves. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Tackle made by Justin Evans.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
First carry for James Conner. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a yard and it... brings up fourth. On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. With it is Jackson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Jones, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Out to the left there, complete to Howard. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone to the chalk of the 20. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Throw left side, complete. It's Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, heading 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Here's Fitzpatrick, escaping the pressure right.
And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Flushed out right. He shakes him off. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And it's picked up by the Steelers.
Partner on my...
spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close, and it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning, they got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And that's complete to Jesse James. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Roethlisberger to his big target, James, all 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On play action, Fitzpatrick. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, and it's 3rd down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Tackle made by Chris Conte.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Roethlisberger will hand the counter, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away, and the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there, and he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me, that's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
To throw is Fitzpatrick. A quick throw, but incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Jackson's got it over the middle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And McDonald here over the middle. "23 yards on the play."
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Connor. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. 3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Now it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows to 10-0. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for them here as we sit in the second quarter.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they do it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll be a third and about 13.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is caught by Jackson. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Help me out, partner. Did they use up all their juice on second down when they got the sack? Because on third down, zero pressure all the time in the world, and he picks up the first down with that throw.
They go play action here on first down. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They just get the play off. Now Fitzpatrick. Flush to his right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
To feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And now running right through it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Roethlisberger will throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And His throw here is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Now Roethlisberger on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Fitzpatrick. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Force. 3. Force.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howard. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Todd Gurley, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Sam Darnold, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. The give is to Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. A dump underneath to Jones. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give to Jones. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a first down.
Fitzpatrick. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Fitzpatrick now. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle to Evans. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Again, it's Connor. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. They run with Connor. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. That was Connor. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Here's Connor. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's...
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Gerald McCoy with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
Here's Jackson. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
It's been a struggle all game for them on offense. This was a chance to maybe provide a little bit of a spark with a punt return. Unfortunately.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And a catch right side by Evans. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And he rifles one incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got three. Three down.
Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
The Bucs on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Fitzpatrick. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. They go play action here on 1st down. Evans has it left side. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. First down, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Fitzpatrick. That is caught at the 7-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert?
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Just... a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 18. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
And the Steeler pressured too much here. He's going down. Javon Hargrave. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Cameron Hayward in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs the defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That escapes the sack. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
He's an absolute oak tree in the pocket because he is so hard to get on the ground. Not as elusive as he used to be, but still, trying to get him down, tough for any defender. In that case, he's able to move just enough. Incomplete pass downfield.
So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Fitzpatrick on first down. He finds his target. It's Evans. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? To throw, Fitzpatrick. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Fitzpatrick now from the 50. And he whips that one incomplete there. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. And it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's Fitzpatrick. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Here's Fitzpatrick. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Fitzpatrick. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Force!
Fitzpatrick again. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't, because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will he?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Switzer now to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football. But not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
Yep, as a result, knocks it down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kendall Beckwith not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
He'll get this one to Switzer. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down. It's Connor, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And Boswell's kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it'll bring up third down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas. And
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can. Pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got to stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know they're over on the sidelines now, starting to take their tape off, and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself, and that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
And he gets this one all the way up to the 40. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Pittsburgh, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.